Hey everybody, I am Kate with Crate Insider.
I'm Steve Hendren Racing Engines.
Great, and to kick things off for this week, I have a couple of questions for you as an engine builder, Steve. So what name brand E85 have you found to be the best power versus corrosion and gel buildup?
Well, the most consistent that I found is VP, but I've always been a VP guy, but just because of the consistency of their fuel, even when we weren't using E85 and using their race gas. Yeah, it's really good stuff.
And so the VP brand of E85, I believe, is
X85 is what we normally use.
Okay, and we don't sell fuel here.
It's legal in everything other than, like, let's say Rush, where they have a mandatory Sunoco fuel rule.
Okay, yes, of course. And then along with that, if you're running a series that allows you to run like a top end lube, do you recommend doing that?
You can. It's not going to harm anything if you choose the right one. Daytona 1 makes one. I can't remember the name of it off the top. Blaze, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's a really good lubricant.
Yeah, great. And then another question we got into is, would you recommend pump gas versus VP?
Absolutely not. I never recommend pump gas.
Okay.
I mean, that stuff's so inconsistent and horrible. There's not much to be said about it. The amount of water content you get in it's been just crazy. So no, I don't. There's guys running it, but are they costing themselves? Probably in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure that it also depends on what they're running against as well.
True. Very true.
Or if you have a mandatory pump gas rule.
Which is usually just the stupidest rule.
Well, but even so, now I did hear a tip one time from Al Walters from Friesen, and he mentioned that if you're going to run pump gas, to bring a 55-gallon drum with you and fill up a 55-gallon drum. That way, when you set up your carburetor, that it is set up consistently. Otherwise, if you're just going week to week, you could have a lot of inconsistency.
You could have 10% ethanol content, you could have 5, you could have 15, and it's just going to screw the world up.
Yeah, and then you're just going to be messing with your carburetor all night. So that was that's just a tip if you do plan on doing that might be kind of a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even recommend doing that because I don't recommend pump gas at all. But that's just me.
Well, with that, let's go ahead and jump into talking about a few products for this week. In this product spotlight, want to take a look at the fire bottle. This happens to be the AMRC 1002, and it has 2 automatic lines, as well as you can also hook up manual lines. And with the automatic lines, the way this works is there's a glass cylinder in here, and it will automatically brake at 170 degrees and shut off the entire system. Now, Steve, you as when you were driving, one thing I noticed about your car, you always had a fire bottle in there.
I always have since the day I started in 1986.
Okay.
My parents would not let me race without one.
Yeah, well, and because of seeing a fire bottle in your car and my brother's car, and I remember seeing actually fire extinguishers in my dad's cars that was before fire bottle, before it existed.
Whole systems and stuff.
And so I thought it was one of those things that everybody had.
Yep.
But that is obviously not the case.
That's not the case, and it's shocking and alarming to me that everyone doesn't have one.
Right, because how many cars have you seen burned to the ground?
I've seen quite a few, and I don't want to be in one when it happens.
Yeah, and of course that's the biggest danger as a racer. And I know racers are always looking at budget and seeing where they can spend money and performance. But as a driver, did you feel like it gave you a little bit better peace of mind?
Yeah, I mean, especially with these automatic systems now. Mm-hmm. I mean, even back in the day, I mean, I've been unconscious in race cars, and if I was on fire, I could not have hit the fire bottle.
Right.
So I think these automatic systems are the best way to go.
Great. So if if you don't already have one, definitely suggest picking one up. And if you do, make sure that you check your dial. Now, mine's a dummy bottle, so mine's on empty always, but check your bottle. This is a good time of year to do it. Make sure that you are all ready to go and be ready for race season. So fire bottle, we have several different options available on the website, but this one is the most popular and the one I most recommend, the AMRC 1002. All right, so in this product spotlight, taking a look at the Winners Maverick bell housing. And Steve, when it comes to putting a car together and picking out a bell housing, tell me why you have chosen in the past to go with the Maverick Winners.
Well, to me personally, Winners makes the best products. So that bell housing is, I mean, we've always had one in my car. We got one in my son's car, along with their transmission and everything else. So I'm just, a bell housing is kind of a bell housing, but the winner's bell housing. You can also use a Burt transmission with it, for instance.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So.
And of course, I mean, we've talked about the Falcon roller slide here, or if you're in a series where you would run the late model aluminum roller slide, or not roller slide, but the late model aluminum transmission or a Burt, it's going to fit with any of those.
Correct.
So yeah, if you're looking for a bell housing, it's time to replace yours, or you're building a new car, then take a look at the Maverick Winters bell housing. Today we're taking a look at the MPI dirt late model steering wheel here, and Steve, you as a driver, how important was it? I think I know the answer to this. To have a steering wheel that was comfortable for you.
Very, very important.
Yeah, and what were some of the things that you look for in a steering wheel? I'm sure you've seen the evolution over the years.
Being round helps a lot.
Hey, come on, there are some that are not round.
That is true.
But especially of course, you're driving a dirt late model.
Yeah, and like, sturdy enough to where, it's not going to flex, not going to bend, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What about the grip on it?
The grip's important, especially when you're wearing gloves, and you should be wearing gloves if you're not. But yeah, with gloves, you definitely need a little bit extra grip on that nice leathery palm you got going on there.
Yeah, and now of course this is one of the dished steering wheels, and
I always prefer the dished.
Okay.
There's guys that like flat ones, but I always prefer the dish.
Great. And what do you think about this marker on the top? I always thought it was kind of cool.
Honestly, I've always found it to be a little bit. I don't need that because I can feel what's going on with my butt.
Right.
So I don't need to know where the wheel's pointed. But yeah, I mean, for some guys it works great.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure it would be really great if they're going to take any in-car GoPro video.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
To be able to see how much you're moving your steering wheel. And that can probably give you some really great feedback when you're reviewing the tape, going back the next week.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking for a steering wheel, the MPI steering wheel is a great way to go. There's a lot of choices out there, but we've got these right here on the shelf, and you want to order one? You can pick one up today at CrateInsider.com.
Just keep your thumbs out of the inside.
Oh, yeah, hey, actually, we talk about that really quick.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, guys break their thumbs all the time because they'll race with a wheel like this, and they actually have their, wrapped around like that. I always race like that, but...
Yeah, well, then we've certainly heard about guys that are breaking their thumbs because and
it can still happen even racing like this, but it's just a little bit safer doing it that way.
Well, because once you hit like a bump or something, all of a sudden it just goes crazy, right?
Accidents usually where it happens because the wheel gets ripped out of your hand.
Yeah, but that is a really, really great safety tip to keep you driving for the next week. All right, there you go. All right, we're getting into race season, and with that, if you are allowed to groove your tires, and it's time to maybe replace your tire grooving iron, then we've got a great choice here. This is the All-Star Tire Groover. And Steve, you've used these before.
Same one we've got.
Right. I mean, in fact, I think you recommended that this was a good one to do. Now, do you prefer, I guess it's different wherever you are as far as grooving your tires. There's a whole science that goes along.
Yeah, there is.
Goes along with that. We have all the blades, or pretty much, really good selection of blades here too, whether they're the curved or the straight. Do you have any tips for, that you would recommend? Maybe there's somebody that's new to grooving tires.
Don't slip and groove yourself.
Oh, have you looked the hard way?
Oh, yeah, I've learned the hard way before.
Any other tips?
Not really. Tire grooving iron.
Okay. But if it's time for a new one, you found good quality with this, and you've used it for
100%.
For years, and so this is a good one to have.
Yep.
There we go. So if you need a tire groover, you can pick one up here. All right, in this product spotlight, taking a look at the Impact Gun Spring Steel Punch. Now, I'm sure as you've been building cars, I'm sure you have punched a bunch of holes in spring steel over the years. And what do you think about using a tool like this with an impact?
That's a game changer.
Okay.
Yeah, life-saving game changer right there.
Yes. So it really makes quick work.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the other way you would have to, what would you have to do before?
You're just suffering the entire time trying to get a hole in it.
Well, and there's plenty of other things you can be doing on a race car other than that.
Yeah, exactly.
This has got some heft to it.
Oh, yeah. It has to.
Yeah, to really make that happen.
Those things work great.
Great. So looking for a new tool. Of course, I love tools here. Great way to just add it on to your impact in your shop and
Absolutely.
And punch those holes in your spring steel. So there you have it. We've got a few products that we just showed you, along with a couple of tips along the way. If you've got questions, feel free to drop them in wherever you're seeing this video. Big shout out to the TikTok audience. A lot of you guys have been asking questions, really appreciate that, and have left some nice comments from what I hear. So wherever you're watching, please hit that like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another video.